Imagine this: you're in the middle of a hectic day. Deadlines are looming. Your phone keeps buzzing with notifications, and it feels like there's simply too much to handle. In this moment of chaos, you have two options. You can let the stress overwhelm you, feeling frustrated and defeated. Or you can take a deep breath, focus on what you can control, and decide on a calm approach. This choice, this ability to find a sense of calm within the storm, is at the heart of Stoicism. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy from Greece and Rome, it's a toolkit for mastering our inner world. One that's incredibly relevant to modern life. Imagine being able to turn your biggest challenges into opportunities for growth. That's the promise of Stoicism. And in this exploration, we'll learn how to bring this powerful approach into our daily lives. In our fast-paced world, we're constantly pulled in many directions. The pressures of work, social media, and personal relationships can be overwhelming. Unlike ancient times, where challenges were often more physical and immediate, today's battles are largely mental and emotional. Stoicism gives us the tools to handle these pressures with grace and resilience, showing us that while we can't control everything that happens, we can control how we respond. This approach, as we'll see, doesn't just change how we handle stress, it transforms our entire experience of life. Consider the last time someone made a comment that struck a nerve. Whether it was a harsh critique, an insensitive joke, or an offhand remark. In that instant, you might have felt an impulse to react, perhaps by snapping back, defending yourself, or even withdrawing from the person. This quick, unfiltered reaction is what Stoics would refer to as a knee-jerk reaction, an automatic, emotionally charged response that bypasses thoughtful consideration. Stoicism, however, teaches us an alternative approach, the art of responding rather than reacting. Reacting is an instinctual, often visceral response that's driven primarily by our immediate emotions. For instance, picture yourself driving on a busy road when suddenly another driver swerves dangerously close to your car. Your first reaction might be anger or frustration, and you may feel the urge to honk or even shout in your car. In moments like these, our emotions are like sparks igniting our actions, and it's easy to let them dictate our behavior. But what if, instead, you could pause, take a deep breath, and choose a response that aligns with your core values like calmness, patience, and empathy? Responding, on the other hand, is about intentionality. It's a conscious, measured action that reflects who we want to be, rather than a reaction fueled by fleeting emotions. Stoicism teaches us that while we may not have control over the actions of others or the events around us, we do have control over our internal interpretation and the responses we choose to make. This ability to respond thoughtfully allows us to act with wisdom and clarity, grounded in values rather than momentary emotions. The Stoic practice of response rather than reaction encourages us to create a mental pause button. This pause gives us space to process our emotions and choose an action that aligns with our inner values and goals. Imagine that same scenario in traffic, but instead of reacting impulsively, you consciously decide to stay calm, recognizing that honking or shouting won't change the driver's actions. By responding calmly, you're not only preserving your peace, but also reinforcing your ability to stay grounded amidst chaos. This practice of pausing, even for just a few seconds, is central to Stoic wisdom. It allows us to observe our emotional impulses without immediately acting on them, giving us the freedom to decide our course of action in a way that serves our well-being and integrity. Let's apply this concept to a work scenario, where your manager offers feedback on a recent project that you find unjust or overly critical. Your initial reaction might be defensive, perhaps an urge to explain yourself or justify your actions. Or maybe a sense of resentment builds, tempting you to hold a grudge. But if you apply Stoic principles, you have the opportunity to step back, pause, and assess the situation from a neutral perspective. In this moment, instead of letting emotions drive your response, you might consider whether there's any constructive value in the feedback. Is there something you could learn or improve on, even if the feedback wasn't delivered in the most supportive way? By reframing the situation, you shift your focus from defending yourself to finding opportunities for growth. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings, rather, it means you acknowledge them without letting them dictate your actions. Choosing to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively can have a profound impact on our relationships and personal growth. Reacting often escalates conflicts, while responding thoughtfully opens the door to constructive dialogue. For example, in our work scenario, a response rooted in openness and self-reflection may lead to a positive conversation with your manager, fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding. On the other hand, a defensive reaction could damage trust and create tension. Moreover, by practicing this approach consistently, we develop emotional resilience and a stronger sense of self-control. Each time we choose to respond instead of react, we reinforce a pattern of behavior that aligns with our deeper values, helping us become individuals who act with intention, integrity, and calmness. Incorporating Stoic principles of response over reaction into everyday life doesn't happen overnight. It requires practice and a commitment to cultivating awareness in each interaction. A simple way to start is by setting an intention every morning to respond thoughtfully, no matter what situations arise. Throughout the day, remind yourself to take a few deep breaths or count to 5 whenever you feel an impulse to react. This practice not only strengthens your emotional control, but also gradually transforms your inner experience, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with greater peace and purpose. In essence, Stoicism invites us to see each interaction as an opportunity for self-mastery. By consistently choosing responses that reflect our values, we not only manage our emotions more effectively, but also set an example of grace and composure for others around us. Through this practice, we gain the freedom to act in ways that are true to who we are, regardless of external circumstances. This is the power of Stoicism, empowering us to respond with clarity, dignity, and wisdom, transforming challenges into moments of personal growth and resilience. Picture yourself at a family gathering, enjoying a warm, festive atmosphere, when suddenly, someone brings up a sensitive topic, a divisive opinion, a personal criticism, or a matter that touches on past grievances. Immediately, you feel a surge of emotion, perhaps your pulse quickens, or a feeling of defensiveness rises within you. The instinct to react is strong, to defend yourself, or to assert your perspective. But what if, instead of letting this impulse take over, you had a set of strategies that allowed you to pause, breathe, and respond in a way that diffuses the tension, preserving both the peace of the gathering and your own sense of calm? Stoicism offers a set of powerful techniques to help us respond thoughtfully, transforming our reactions into mindful responses that align with our values and intentions. Let's explore these Stoic-inspired strategies, which, with practice, can empower you to navigate even the most challenging interactions with grace. One of the most impactful techniques the Stoics practiced was pausing before reacting, a concept that seems simple but requires patience and self-discipline to master. This pause can be as short as a few seconds or as long as needed, but its purpose is to create a space between what happens and how we choose to respond. In this space, we can observe our feelings without immediately acting on them, giving ourselves the chance to step back and view the situation from a more balanced perspective. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius often emphasized this practice, advising himself to hold a mental pause when confronted with situations that stirred up strong emotions. By allowing himself to experience this moment of reflection, Marcus found he could separate his initial emotional impulse from his chosen response. This pause button strategy enables us to regain control, grounding ourselves and centering our minds before we decide how to act. For example, let's revisit the family gathering scenario. Instead of diving into a debate or trying to assert your viewpoint, you could take a slow, deep breath, letting the initial surge of defensiveness subside. This single breath can help shift your mindset from one of reaction to one of reflection. In this brief pause, you might ask yourself questions like, is this response in line with my values, or will reacting defensively help this situation or escalate it? This short break in the flow of automatic reaction creates a window of opportunity to choose your words and actions wisely. Another Stoic technique is the practice of reframing, consciously shifting your perspective to view a situation in a way that reduces its emotional charge. Reframing is about choosing to see events not as threats or personal affronts, but as opportunities for growth, learning, or even compassion. This approach aligns with the Stoic belief that events in themselves are neutral, and it's our interpretation of them that creates our experience. Imagine that someone offers you criticism, perhaps a colleague at work points out something they feel you could have done better, or a friend comments on a personal habit they find bothersome. Our instinct is often to take such feedback personally, to see it as an attack on our abilities or character. But with reframing, you can choose to see the situation differently. Instead of interpreting the criticism as an insult, you might view it as an opportunity to understand how others perceive your actions or as a chance to improve yourself. Reframing can also involve considering the perspective of the other person. If someone is acting impatiently or angrily, you could choose to interpret their behavior as a sign that they are experiencing a difficult day or dealing with stress, rather than seeing it as a personal affront. This shift in perspective can prevent you from reacting defensively and instead help you respond with empathy or understanding. Mindful observation is a practice where you watch your own thoughts and emotions as they arise, almost as if you're observing another person. By taking on this perspective, you create distance between yourself and your immediate reactions. You might notice the thoughts that trigger emotional responses and examine whether these reactions align with your values. For example, if someone says something that typically annoys you, instead of immediately reacting, practice observing how your thoughts unfold. You might notice that certain assumptions or judgments arise quickly, and in observing them, you gain insight into why you react in specific ways. This knowledge can help you anticipate and alter habitual reactions, replacing them with responses that reflect your desired mindset. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. Many situations that trigger reactions are, in fact, beyond our direct influence, other people's opinions, unforeseen circumstances, or even past events. Practicing the art of letting go means acknowledging that we cannot control these factors, but we do have power over our own thoughts and actions. When faced with a challenging interaction, consider asking yourself, is this something I have control over? If the answer is no, remind yourself that expending energy on it may only lead to frustration or stress. Redirect your focus to what you can control, your response, your attitude, and your interpretation of the situation. This shift from a reactive mindset to one of acceptance and responsibility allows you to handle challenges more calmly and constructively. Lastly, building a habit of self-reflection can help you develop these skills and integrate Stoic principles into your daily life. Take a few minutes at the end of each day to review situations where you faced emotional triggers. Reflect on whether you reacted or responded thoughtfully and identify what you could do differently next time. This practice not only reinforces self-awareness, but also helps you become more intentional in your responses. For instance, if you found yourself reacting defensively in a conversation, try to unpack the experience during your reflection time. Consider what thoughts led to that reaction and how you might have reframed the situation to allow a calmer response. Through regular reflection, you gradually develop a greater understanding of your inner triggers and strengthen your ability to pause, reframe, and respond thoughtfully. Training the mind to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively is not a quick fix. It's a lifelong practice that requires patience, self-discipline, and persistence. By incorporating these Stoic strategies into your life, you create a mental toolkit that empowers you to face challenges with calm and clarity. Whether it's developing the pause, reframing situations, or practicing mindful observation, each technique brings you closer to mastering your responses, allowing you to act in ways that reflect your true self and values. Over time, as you practice these techniques, you'll find that the reactive impulses lose their hold, and a sense of inner peace begins to take their place. You become someone who acts with purpose and integrity, grounded in a calm that remains steady even in the face of adversity. This is the strength of Stoicism, the ability to transform everyday challenges into opportunities for growth and self-mastery, creating a life of resilience, wisdom, and true inner peace. Have you ever found yourself reacting to a situation, whether with irritation, defensiveness, or sadness, only to wonder afterward why you felt that way? In moments like these, it can feel as if our emotions control us rather than the other way around. This is where the Stoic principle of self-awareness comes into play. As a foundational aspect of Stoicism, self-awareness allows us to step back and examine our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. It offers us the ability to recognize what influences us, granting us a pathway to change and control our responses thoughtfully. Self-awareness isn't just about identifying how we feel, it's about understanding why we feel that way, discerning the underlying beliefs and assumptions that shape our reactions. When we are self-aware, we can recognize our triggers and patterns, ultimately freeing ourselves from automatic reactions that don't serve us. Developing self-awareness starts with bringing attention to our inner world, especially in moments of stress or emotional upheaval. This involves a conscious effort to observe our thoughts and feelings as they arise. One effective way to cultivate this awareness is through regular journaling. Writing down our thoughts allows us to examine them in a tangible way, making it easier to identify recurring themes and emotional triggers. Over time, journaling can reveal patterns in our reactions, helping us understand which situations tend to elicit certain emotions and why. Consider a scenario where you often feel frustrated in social gatherings. By writing down your thoughts after each event, you might notice that your frustration arises from feeling unheard or overlooked. Once you identify this pattern, you can reflect on how it influences your interactions and consider new ways to approach similar situations in the future. Journaling is like holding up a mirror to our mind. It allows us to see what is often hidden and gives us the insight needed to make meaningful changes. Another practice to cultivate self-awareness is mindfulness meditation. By focusing on the present moment, we can learn to observe our thoughts without judgment or attachment. This practice strengthens our ability to recognize emotions and reactions as they arise, creating a mental space in which we can pause and choose how to respond rather than acting on impulse. Self-awareness isn't just about observing our thoughts and feelings in the present moment. It also involves looking back at past experiences with an analytical mind. Introspection, reflecting on previous actions and reactions, gives us valuable insights into ourselves, showing us where we have room to grow. Through introspection, we can analyze our behavior in specific situations and gain clarity on how we might approach similar scenarios differently in the future. For example, If you find yourself feeling anxious or tense before meetings or presentations, introspection can help you understand the root of this anxiety. Perhaps it stems from a fear of judgment or an expectation of perfection. By identifying this source, you can create strategies to manage it, such as preparing affirmations or visualizing a positive outcome before the meeting. In this way, introspection equips you with tools to address your emotions and cultivate a calmer, more confident response. Introspection also allows us to recognize our successes and acknowledge moments where we acted with integrity and courage. By celebrating these instances, we reinforce positive behaviors and build a stronger sense of self. Each time we reflect on actions that align with our values, we cultivate a deeper connection to the person we strive to be, making it easier to repeat those choices in the future. One of the greatest benefits of self-awareness is the ability to recognize patterns that influence our reactions. Often, we carry unconscious habits of thought and behavior from past experiences. For instance, if someone grew up in an environment where they were often criticized, they might react defensively to any feedback, even constructive criticism. By becoming aware of this pattern, they can begin to separate the feedback from the emotional reaction, allowing them to respond more openly and thoughtfully. Recognizing these patterns doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent observation and reflection. Start by paying attention to situations where you feel a strong emotional response. Ask yourself questions like, "What am I reacting to?" or "Is there a pattern here that I haven't noticed before?" Each time you uncover a new pattern, you gain more control over your actions, freeing yourself from habitual reactivity. Once you identify these patterns, you can work on reframing your perspective and replacing reactive responses with thoughtful ones. For example, if you tend to react defensively to criticism, you might practice viewing it as a learning opportunity rather than a personal attack. This shift in perspective allows you to engage more constructively, turning moments of discomfort into moments of growth. A crucial component of self-awareness is self-compassion. As we begin to examine our thoughts and actions more closely, we may encounter aspects of ourselves that we don't like. It's easy to fall into a cycle of self-criticism, especially when we notice patterns of behavior that we wish to change. However, self-compassion allows us to approach this process with kindness and understanding, recognizing that self-awareness is a journey, not a destination. Self-compassion involves accepting our flaws and missteps as part of the human experience, rather than judging ourselves for past mistakes. We can use them as stepping stones for personal growth. For example, if you recognize a pattern of reacting angrily when feeling stressed, self-compassion reminds you that this reaction doesn't define you. Instead, it's an opportunity to learn, allowing you to approach similar situations with more patience and understanding in the future. To make self-awareness a consistent part of your life, it's helpful to incorporate small habits and routines that encourage introspection. Start by dedicating a few minutes each day to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and interactions. This could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and asking yourself, "What am I feeling right now?" or "How did I respond to the challenges I faced today?" Over time, these small moments of reflection will help you become more attuned to your emotional landscape. You'll begin to notice shifts in your mood, recurring thoughts, and habitual reactions. This awareness can serve as a compass, guiding you toward responses that align with your values and intentions rather than reactions based on momentary emotions. Another way to integrate self-awareness into daily life is by practicing gratitude. Reflecting on what you're grateful for can shift your focus from negative thoughts to positive experiences, fostering a more balanced and content perspective. By regularly acknowledging the good in your life, you cultivate a mindset of appreciation, which can enhance your resilience in times of difficulty. Self-awareness not only benefits our personal growth, but also plays a vital role in our relationships. By understanding our own emotions and triggers, we become more empathetic and open in our interactions with others. For instance, if you're aware that you tend to feel impatient in certain situations, you can actively work on practicing patience, improving the quality of your relationships. When we bring self-awareness into our interactions, we become better listeners, less reactive, and more compassionate. This change can lead to stronger, healthier relationships built on mutual understanding and respect. Imagine, for example, that you're in a disagreement with a friend. Instead of reacting defensively, self-awareness enables you to recognize your emotional response and consider your friend's perspective. This thoughtful approach creates an environment where open communication and problem-solving can flourish. Self-awareness is not a skill that we master once and for all, it's a continuous journey that evolves as we grow. Each experience, interaction, and reflection brings new insights and opportunities for self-discovery. By embracing self-awareness as a lifelong practice, we empower ourselves to live authentically and respond to life's challenges with grace and wisdom. The Stoic commitment to self-awareness invites us to see every moment as an opportunity for learning. Whether we're reflecting on a recent conversation or examining our reactions to stress, self-awareness allows us to move through life with greater purpose, clarity, and intention. In the end, self-awareness is more than just a tool for managing emotions, it's a path to understanding ourselves more deeply, cultivating inner peace, and creating a life that reflects our highest values and aspirations. Stoicism and mindfulness are closely intertwined, both emphasizing the power of presence, awareness, and self-mastery. At the heart of both practices is the concept of staying fully engaged in the present moment, of observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, allowing them to flow like waves on the shore. Imagine being able to watch your emotions arise and fade without feeling compelled to act on them, to remain calm even when surrounded by turbulence. This is the essence of mindfulness, a skill that can transform our inner experience and bring a sense of peace that aligns beautifully with Stoic philosophy. Through consistent mindfulness practices, we can cultivate a Stoic state of mind, one that embraces calm, clarity, and resilience. Below are several mindfulness techniques that can serve as powerful tools in developing a Stoic approach to life, helping us respond to situations with intentionality rather than reacting impulsively. One foundational mindfulness practice is breath meditation. In this technique, you focus on the natural rhythm of your breathing, observing each inhale and exhale as it happens. This might sound simple, but the effects of breath meditation can be profound. As you center your awareness on your breathing, you begin to anchor your mind in the present moment, training it to return to the here and now whenever it starts to wander into worries about the future or regrets about the past. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to detach from fleeting thoughts and emotions, making it easier to maintain composure in challenging situations. Imagine, for instance, being able to take a few deep breaths before responding to a stressful situation, finding calm within yourself before taking any action. This pause, cultivated through regular breath meditation, can help you respond thoughtfully, in line with your values, rather than react based on momentary emotions. The beauty of breath meditation is that it can be practiced anytime, anywhere. Whether you're sitting quietly at home or feeling overwhelmed in a public setting, focusing on your breath is like pressing a mental reset button. As you return to your breath, you give yourself a brief sanctuary of peace, a moment to regain clarity and calm. Another valuable mindfulness technique is mindful observation, a practice that involves bringing full, undivided attention to any activity. This could be as simple as observing the sensation of each step while walking, feeling the texture of food while eating, or noticing the movements of your hands while washing dishes. Mindful observation is about immersing yourself in the present experience, treating each task as an opportunity to practice focus and awareness. Imagine you're preparing a cup of tea. Instead of letting your mind wander, bring your attention to every step: the sound of the water boiling, the warmth of the steam, the fragrance of the tea leaves. By engaging fully in these simple actions, you train your mind to stay grounded, reducing stress and promoting a sense of calm. This practice can transform even the most mundane tasks into moments of peace and clarity, helping you develop a steady mind that is less easily shaken by external events. Mindful observation can also deepen your appreciation for life's simple pleasures, adding richness to everyday experiences. In a Stoic sense, it reinforces the practice of finding contentment within rather than constantly seeking external distractions. Over time, mindful observation helps you cultivate a more present and engaged approach to life, aligning you with the Stoic ideal of self-mastery and inner tranquility. Body scan meditation is another mindfulness practice that is highly beneficial for both physical and emotional awareness. In a body scan, you slowly bring your attention to each part of your body, starting from the top of your head and gradually moving down to your toes. As you scan through each area, you notice any sensations, areas of tension, or discomfort. This practice not only increases body awareness, but also creates a space for releasing stored stress and emotions. Through body scan meditation, you may become more aware of physical sensations linked to certain emotions. For instance, you might notice tightness in your shoulders when you feel anxious or tension in your stomach when you're stressed. Recognizing these sensations helps you identify emotional triggers, providing you with the opportunity to address them rather than letting them build up unnoticed. The Stoics believed in being attuned to the present reality, including the experiences within our own bodies. Body scan meditation aligns with this principle, teaching us to embrace our physical sensations with acceptance rather than resistance. Instead of ignoring or suppressing discomfort, you acknowledge it, observe it, and allow it to release naturally. This practice fosters a deeper connection with yourself, encouraging both physical and emotional resilience. Walking meditation is a form of mindfulness that incorporates movement, making it an excellent practice for those who find sitting meditation challenging. In walking meditation, you focus on each step you take, bringing awareness to the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your gait, and the movement of your body. You can practice this indoors or outdoors, ideally in a quiet place where you can move slowly and without interruption. As you walk, bring your attention to the present moment, observing your surroundings and the sensations within your body. Each step becomes a deliberate, mindful action, allowing you to connect with the experience of movement and cultivate a state of calm. Walking meditation can be particularly helpful when you're feeling restless or overwhelmed, as it combines physical activity with mindfulness, promoting both mental and physical well-being. This practice also aligns with Stoic teachings, as it encourages an appreciation for simplicity and a connection to the natural world. The Stoics valued harmony with nature, and walking meditation is a way of embodying this value, grounding yourself in the rhythm of life and fostering a calm, centered mind. A crucial component of mindfulness is practicing non-judgment, which involves observing your thoughts, emotions, and experiences without immediately labeling them as good or bad. This practice is closely tied to Stoic teachings, as the Stoics believed that our judgments about events, rather than the events themselves, are the primary source of our emotional disturbances. When we practice non-judgment, we allow thoughts and emotions to arise without getting entangled in them. Imagine a moment of anger arising within you. Instead of labeling this emotion as bad or unwanted, simply observe it as a passing sensation. By reframing your relationship with your thoughts and feelings, you free yourself from the need to control or suppress them, allowing them to naturally dissolve over time. Practicing non-judgment fosters a sense of inner peace and acceptance, helping you develop a resilient mind that is less reactive to external circumstances. Over time, this practice allows you to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than sources of distress, aligning you with the Stoic goal of cultivating a balanced, composed outlook on life. Stoic reflection is the practice of reviewing one's thoughts, actions, and reactions regularly to gain insight and make intentional improvements. By combining Stoic reflection with mindfulness practices, you create a holistic approach to self-awareness and growth. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on how you responded to different situations. Did you remain present? Did you react impulsively? Or did you respond thoughtfully? This reflective practice reinforces mindfulness by encouraging you to evaluate your progress and identify areas for improvement. It can also deepen your understanding of your triggers and habitual reactions, giving you the information needed to continue refining your approach. Ultimately, the goal of mindfulness is to create a way of being that remains calm, centered, and aware regardless of the situation. By integrating practices like breath meditation, mindful observation, body scanning, and non-judgment into daily life, you develop a resilience that aligns with Stoic ideals. Mindfulness doesn't remove challenges from life, but it gives you the tools to navigate them with grace and composure. As you practice these techniques, you cultivate an inner space where thoughts and emotions can arise and fade without disturbing your peace. This space allows you to engage with life fully while remaining true to yourself, embodying the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and tranquility. Through mindfulness, you align your mind with the natural flow of life, building a solid foundation of inner strength and resilience. In essence, mindfulness is not just a practice but a way of living, a life that embraces the present, meets challenges with grace, and stays anchored in a place of peace and clarity. Learning to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively is a powerful shift that can bring a sense of calm, clarity, and control to your life. This approach helps you navigate conflicts more effectively, fosters better relationships, and encourages personal growth. However, implementing a responsive mindset in daily life is a journey that requires patience, practice, and self-awareness. Let's dive into strategies that can help you incorporate this approach consistently. Let's begin with a relatable scenario. Imagine you receive a tense or even accusatory email from a coworker. Your first instinct might be to reply immediately, defending your position or addressing the issue with the same tone. But Stoic wisdom teaches us to pause, take a deep breath, and consider our options before reacting. In this situation, taking a few moments, or even stepping away from your desk for a few minutes, can help you shift from a reactive state to a responsive one. During this pause, reflect on the content of the email objectively. Ask yourself questions like, is there a constructive way to address their concerns, or what is the most effective way to communicate my perspective without escalating the situation? This small act of pausing can turn a potential conflict into an opportunity for clarity and understanding. When you finally compose a reply, it is more likely to be calm, thoughtful, and constructive, opening the door for positive communication rather than misunderstanding or hostility. This practice extends beyond email or workplace interactions. Think about moments when you're with family or friends, and a disagreement arises. Instead of reacting immediately or letting emotions drive the conversation, practice pausing to collect your thoughts. This can prevent arguments, encourage open dialogue, and allow both parties to feel respected. Over time, this habit can transform not only how you communicate, but also how others perceive you as someone who values thoughtful discussion and respects different perspectives. Building a habit of responding thoughtfully requires consistent practice. Here are a few techniques that can help reinforce this practice in various scenarios. The 5-second rule: when you feel an impulse to react, try counting to 5 in your mind. This short pause can be enough to shift your perspective, allowing you to assess whether a quick reaction is truly necessary. For many, these few seconds are enough to interrupt the initial emotional impulse and bring awareness to the situation. Breath is an anchor. Breathing deeply and slowly is a natural way to calm the body and mind. When you encounter a situation that stirs strong emotions, take 3 deep breaths before responding. Focus on the sensation of the breath to help center yourself. This small technique can ground you in the present moment, helping you regain a sense of control. Reflective questioning before responding. Ask yourself questions like, what outcome do I want from this interaction? Or how can I approach this in a way that aligns with my values? Reflecting on these questions can help you clarify your intentions and choose a response that promotes understanding and harmony. Creating a responsive mindset goes beyond individual interactions. It's about cultivating an intentional lifestyle that prioritizes calm and clarity. This lifestyle requires a commitment to self-reflection and personal growth. Start each day by setting an intention to respond thoughtfully to whatever challenges may arise. This small mental exercise prepares you to approach your day with awareness and mindfulness, increasing your ability to handle stressors with grace. In the evening, take a few moments to reflect on your interactions. Did you respond to situations calmly? Or were there moments where you reacted impulsively? If you find that you reacted in certain situations, consider why that reaction occurred and what you could do differently next time. This regular practice of reflection reinforces the habit of mindful response, helping you become more aware of your behavior patterns and guiding you to make adjustments that align with your goals. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, mindful breathing, and body scans are powerful tools for training the mind to respond thoughtfully. Regular meditation, for instance, strengthens your ability to observe thoughts and emotions without immediately acting on them. By becoming more familiar with your inner landscape, you develop the mental space needed to choose responses rather than fall into habitual reactions. Additionally, practicing mindful observation in everyday activities can increase your awareness of your impulses and reactions. For example, if you're waiting in line and feel impatience arising, take a moment to observe the feeling without judgment. This simple act of mindful observation teaches you to experience emotions as temporary and separate from your actions. Over time, this practice of observing without judgment can strengthen your ability to respond thoughtfully, even in challenging situations. Creating daily rituals that support a responsive lifestyle can help you stay grounded and intentional throughout the day. Here are a few ideas for rituals that can enhance your practice. Morning reflection. Begin each day by setting an intention for mindful, thoughtful responses. This intention can be a simple statement like, "Today, I will respond thoughtfully and with kindness." This small practice sets a positive tone for your day, encouraging you to approach each situation with awareness. Gratitude practice. Ending your day with a gratitude practice can shift your focus from stressors to positive experiences, reinforcing a calm and responsive mindset. Spend a few moments reflecting on aspects of your day for which you feel grateful. This practice not only enhances your mood, but also helps you approach future interactions with a more open, positive outlook. Evening reflection and journaling. Take a few minutes at night to journal about your interactions, especially those that were challenging. Reflect on how you responded, noting any moments where you reacted impulsively or responded thoughtfully. Writing down these reflections can help solidify your intentions and identify areas for improvement. making it easier to respond mindfully in the future. Over time, consistently choosing response over reaction can lead to profound shifts in your relationships, mental well-being, and overall life satisfaction. By cultivating this mindset, you reduce stress and conflict, as you're no longer at the mercy of every emotional impulse. Your interactions become more meaningful and constructive, as people begin to recognize you as someone who listens, respects differing opinions, and approaches challenges thoughtfully. Additionally, a responsive mindset nurtures resilience. When you're able to respond to setbacks calmly, you build emotional strength and flexibility. This resilience empowers you to face future challenges with confidence, knowing you have the inner resources to handle whatever comes your way. Each time you choose response over reaction, you reinforce your commitment to self-mastery and personal growth, transforming both your inner and outer life. In embracing a responsive mindset, you open the door to greater personal fulfillment. Every interaction becomes an opportunity for growth, every challenge a chance to cultivate resilience. The decision to respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively, is an investment in your own well-being, fostering a sense of inner peace that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. Through practice and dedication, responding thoughtfully can become second nature, transforming your approach to life itself. This choice brings you closer to living with integrity, presence, and intention, in alignment with the Stoic ideal of a life well lived. Imagine walking into a crowded, tense room where emotions are running high, and everyone around you seems to be reacting impulsively. Now, picture yourself as the calmest person in that room, someone whose presence naturally brings a sense of peace and stability to those around you. This ability to remain grounded, unshaken by the chaos, is a hallmark of a responsive mindset, a powerful approach to life that can help you navigate even the most challenging situations with clarity and composure. Cultivating a responsive mindset means intentionally training yourself to pause, reflect, and choose thoughtful responses rather than reacting impulsively. This mindset requires patience, dedication, and a set of practices that reinforce the habit of calm, considered responses. Below are several practical tips and strategies that can help you build and sustain a responsive mindset, allowing you to approach life's ups and downs with resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. One of the most effective ways to cultivate a responsive mindset is by setting a clear intention at the beginning of each day. This practice is like creating a mental blueprint for how you want to approach your interactions and challenges throughout the day. By setting an intention to respond thoughtfully, you're priming your mind to act with awareness rather than react automatically. Start your morning with a simple statement that resonates with you, such as, "Today, I will respond with patience and understanding, or I choose to act with calm and clarity in every situation." Take a moment to visualize yourself embodying this intention, imagining how you will handle potential challenges or stressful moments. This mental preparation strengthens your resolve and reminds you of your commitment to a responsive mindset, helping you stay centered and grounded. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on how you responded to the various situations you encountered. This practice of evening reflection is an essential part of cultivating self-awareness and accountability. Ask yourself questions like, did I respond thoughtfully? Or were there moments when I reacted impulsively, and how did my responses affect my mood, relationships, and sense of inner peace? Reflecting on your day without judgment allows you to learn from your experiences without falling into self-criticism. Instead of focusing on mistakes, view them as opportunities for growth. For example, if you notice that you reacted defensively in a conversation, consider what triggered that response and how you might handle a similar situation differently next time. Evening reflections are a powerful tool for continuous improvement, helping you refine your responses over time and reinforcing your commitment to a responsive mindset. Journaling is a valuable practice that provides a tangible way to monitor your journey toward a responsive mindset. By recording your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, you create a space for self-reflection and self-discovery. This habit helps you identify patterns in your behavior, understand your triggers, and recognize areas where you may need to make adjustments. In your journal, consider documenting specific instances where you successfully responded calmly, as well as moments when you reacted impulsively. Reflect on what contributed to each response and how you felt afterward. Over time, these entries will allow you to see your progress and gain insights into how your mindset is evolving. The act of writing reinforces your commitment to growth, helping you stay mindful of your responses and more attuned to your inner state. Practicing gratitude is a powerful way to anchor yourself in positivity and maintain a calm, balanced mindset. Gratitude encourages you to focus on what is going well in your life, shifting your attention away from stressors and challenges. By developing a habit of gratitude, you create a mental buffer that helps you approach difficulties with resilience and a more balanced perspective. Each evening, take a moment to reflect on things you're grateful for. Whether it's a supportive friend, a meaningful conversation, or simply the comfort of a warm cup of tea, expressing gratitude can help shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, reducing the likelihood of reactive behavior. Gratitude aligns with Stoic principles, reminding us to appreciate the present and recognize the value of what we have, which in turn fosters a more peaceful and centered state of mind. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing full awareness to the present moment, observing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine enhances your ability to recognize your emotional impulses, allowing you to pause and choose a response that aligns with your values. Start by practicing mindful breathing or a simple body scan meditation each day. These exercises help you become more attuned to your inner state, making it easier to notice when you're beginning to feel reactive. By cultivating this awareness, you train yourself to pause before responding, giving you the mental space needed to choose a calm and thoughtful action. Mindfulness also helps reduce stress and anxiety, creating a more stable foundation from which to respond to life's challenges. As you become more mindful, you'll find that you're better able to observe your emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them, strengthening your ability to stay centered even in difficult situations. Building a responsive mindset is a gradual process, one that requires patience and consistency. Rather than expecting instant results, embrace the journey as a series of small, steady steps. Each time you choose to respond thoughtfully, you're reinforcing the habit of calm and intentional action. Remember that progress may be slow at times, and that's okay. Just as a tree grows slowly but steadily, cultivating a responsive mindset takes time and nurturing. Celebrate small victories along the way, such as moments when you noticed a shift in your reactions or handled a challenging situation with calm. Over time, these small improvements add up, creating lasting change in how you approach life's challenges. Consistency and patience are key to creating lasting change. As you continue to practice these techniques, you'll likely notice subtle but profound shifts in how you experience and respond to the world. Small improvements can lead to significant gains, enhancing your relationships, reducing stress, and deepening your sense of self-awareness. For example, you might recall a time when you responded calmly to a heated conversation, choosing to listen rather than react defensively. In that moment, you experienced the power of a responsive mindset, witnessing firsthand how thoughtful actions can transform interactions and promote understanding. These experiences reinforce your commitment to cultivating a responsive mindset, reminding you of the benefits of patience and self-discipline. Your surroundings play a significant role in your ability to maintain a responsive mindset. Create an environment that supports calm and reflection by minimizing distractions and incorporating elements that promote peace. This could mean designating a quiet space for meditation, keeping a journal on hand for reflection, or setting reminders to practice mindful breathing throughout the day. Surrounding yourself with people who value thoughtful communication and self-awareness can also reinforce your efforts. Share your goals with trusted friends or family members who can support and encourage you on your journey. By cultivating a supportive environment, you create a foundation that makes it easier to maintain your responsive mindset, even when faced with external challenges. Incorporating these practices into your daily routine can profoundly transform your approach to life, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Through setting daily intentions, practicing evening reflections, maintaining a gratitude journal, and embracing mindfulness, you build a mindset that is calm, resilient, and focused on intentional action. With time and dedication, responding thoughtfully will become second nature, bringing a sense of peace and purpose to your interactions. As you continue to cultivate this mindset, you'll find that you are better equipped to handle life's challenges with grace, creating a life that is aligned with your deepest values and aspirations.